What's up guys, it's Johnny Candido of Candido Training HQ. I know this setting is a little bit off because I'm about to work out and it's 1 a.m. So, you know what, let's just add some cheery music so we can pretend it's 3 p.m. and I'm a normal human. I've made a video before on why I like the wide stance snatch grip deadlift, but I have been asked about it so many times that I'm determined that it's totally outside of the YouTube algorithm, outside of getting cycled through that. So I'm going to make a new video saying exactly why I like this exercise. So you may have seen me build up to 455, then 480, then I did 500 for 5. The past video I just did 440 for 12, which was a really good PR as a secondary lift. Now today's workout concludes the final workout using it as a primary exercise. So I'm gonna go for 525 for 5, which is a 25-pound PR. So simply put, the reason why I like this exercise is because the stance width is more similar to a sumo than a conventional. It's basically the same stance width as a narrow sumo. The only downside is that you do have to point your feet more forward due to obviously giving room still for your elbows. But the good news about that is that then it makes it easier in terms of balance than any type of sumo variation. So basically the point is to get the range of motion for your back as far as how horizontal your back's gonna be. Obviously, ideally your back's not going through any range of motion, just remaining rigid in a disadvantaged position. But the point is to make it similar to conventional in that sense, but then there's a little bit more leg drive. And like I said, the stance width is simply just more similar. So for someone like myself, this came about really practically because the conventional simply started getting less and less transference. And I tried this out, and when doing the wide stance snatch grip deadlift, I found it basically had a 1-to-1 carryover with a narrow sumo. Because all you do is you just grip narrower and then you can flare your feet out and it's automatically a gigantic advantage. So then as far as a wide stance snatch grip deadlift to a competition sumo that's a little bit more traditional, then of course you are going to have to count on some transference there and it will not be direct, that's for sure. But it simply will be better than doing conventional to a wider competition stance sumo, in my opinion. At least that's happened from both my experience, and again, it just makes more sense in terms of positions. So the main counter argument to this would be to simply do a deficit sumo, but then again, you have those issues with your feet more flared out, the bar is going from in front of you to the side of you, and you're maybe locking out in front of your thighs, which is fine, that's regular in a sumo, but it requires a lot of technique. So it's going to basically alter when you're going to lock your knees out, how you're going to wedge into the bar on a deficit sumo. And that, in my opinion, is the main reason why most people just don't use that exercise. So simply put, the stance width is more similar to sumo than conventional, the range of motion is similar to conventional, and it's a low scale movement, unlike a deficit sumo. That's why I use this exercise. Also, of course, this only means anything if it actually works. So I'm also making this video to update you because when I first made the video, it was more in theory. Now I can speak after 6-8 cycles of using it that it's always worked very well. Whereas with the sumo stiff leg deadlift, I have actually had a few, so the ratio is probably gonna be 80-20 using snatch grip and then 20% using that sumo stiff leg deadlift. That simply just hasn't worked as well in practice. And a buddy of mine, Vernon, who I coach, he's actually wide stance snatch grip deadlifted 550 pounds for 5. And that was around the time when his pause sumo was 694, and that was extremely easy. He probably could have paused sumo nearly 720, probably 720. So the fact that there's a good relationship there with his wide stance snatch grip, both working for himself when I programmed it, and he's stronger in it than me, I think is a good ratio given his sumo's a little bit stronger than me. So it shows that there is a relationship there, and it's not something that just randomly can get stronger and be freakishly strong for one person, and then really weak for another, and it just has no relationship to the competition sumo, which in the end of the day is what counts. I conventional deadlifted 500 for 5, and then went on to pull 635 for 4, when I was 169, on that cycle right before it. So right now, I just wide stance snatch grip deadlifted 525, so 25 pounds more disadvantaged position. And I think hopefully that this can lead to 640 for 2 sets of 4 is my goal. And every time I hit 90% for 2 sets of 4, then I'm good for 100%, which would be 711 at that point. But you know, we won't assume too much. Okay, lastly, this is open to you guys in the comment section. Please give me a better name for this exercise. So I've tried wide stance snatch grip deadlift, and that seems to resonate with nobody. Someone came up with Shaw deadlift. that resonated with nobody. Someone said Candido deadlift, did not resonate. So if you got any ideas in the comment section below to name this exercise in a way that would catch on, that would get someone to do it, and I've heard some people considering doing it, but as of now, it's pretty much just me and then me programming it for Verted, and that's about it. But that's it, guys. Make sure to like the video, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.